How's it going? My name's John with Blackbird Productions. And have you ever wondered how you can properly clean your Tesla without risking any damage? Well, today I'm going to talk about how you can do that with car wash mode. And I'll also be giving you some tips provided straight from Tesla themselves on how you can protect your car between washes. So with that, let's get into today's video. So what is car wash mode exactly? Well, car wash mode actually protects your Tesla during washes, and it enables a number of safety precautions while you're washing the car. And you can access car wash mode through the touchscreen within the interior. So what does it do exactly? The first thing it does is it disables the automatic wipers to ensure that they aren't triggered during water sprays. So if you're spraying something on the car, like a cleaner or some sort of solvent or something, then the wipers won't activate. The second thing it does is it closes the windows and sunroof if you have a sunroof, because I know older models have the sunroof option. Third thing it does is it disables Sentry mode, walkaway locking, and parking sensors. So Sentry mode and walkaway locking are turned off so the car doesn't lock itself or trigger alarms while people are around it. The parking sensors are also disabled. So if you have parking sensors, that is, to avoid unnecessary beeping so the car moves through the wash. So mainly applicable to conveyor belt style automated car washes. The next thing it does is it disables the charging port, so that way the charging port doesn't open up as water is being sprayed around it, which is another thing I'll dive into towards the end of this video, but definitely stick around because Tesla actually provides a warning on how to safely clean your car around the charge port. Next thing it does is it actually puts the car in neutral. In some cases, especially for conveyor belt style car washes, the car will shift to neutral to move smoothly through the wash without intervention. And based on my documentation, it says F needed. So I'm guessing the car might already automatically pick up on the fact that it's on a conveyor belt. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it does say in brackets on the documentation, F needed. So my guess is the car might be smart enough to know when to put it into neutral. And the last thing it does is it disables brake hold. This ensures the car can roll smoothly through the wash without engaging the brakes, which I'd imagine is pretty important. So the next thing is around the cautions that Tesla provides in the documentation when you're washing your car. And some of these are pretty important. And before I run through these, I want to preface that I did leave out like 2 or 3 just because I felt like those were pretty obvious, but it's a pretty extensive list and I just didn't want to make this video that long. So I'm going to be going over the most important ones that I picked from the list. And if you want to see a more comprehensive list of cautions as well as cleaning tips from Tesla, I actually provided my source in the description below, and you can view that after watching this video. So I've got my laptop here just so I don't miss anything. So you'll see me just periodically look down at my notes. So the first caution that they provide is don't wash the car in direct sunlight, which I think that's pretty obvious. I only kept that on here just because if you don't regularly clean your car and maybe you're just coming back from like a first time car and you're buying a Tesla, maybe you're not really that well versed when it comes to washing. You shouldn't wash any car in direct light, especially if it's wrapped, just because whatever the solvents you put on it, like especially if you go to dry it or put some sort of wax on it, it's just going to smear across and it just doesn't look good, and it's just not good for the car. So definitely don't want to do that. The next thing it says is do not use windshield treatment fluids. Doing so can interfere with wiper friction and cause chattering sounds. So this is actually something I encountered when I started putting my CarPro Clarify across the windshield. I'm not sure if it's just any treatment fluid. They're just not very specific in their documentation, but that's just something you should keep in mind as you're touching up the car between washes. Third thing they recommend is do not use hot water, detergents, highly alkaline or caustic, I think that's how you pronounce that, caustic cleaning ingredients or solvents, specifically those containing hydroxides. So my guess is they're essentially saying don't put any bleach on the car. Because when I think of like some of these ingredients, like some of these ingredients are like in highly acidic solvents. So you definitely don't want to put that on your car, on your paint, let alone. So yeah. So the next one is, if you're using a high pressure washer, maintain a distance of at least 30 centimeters between the nozzle and the surface of your car. Avoid aiming the water directly at parking sensors if equipped. And I know the newer models, they all have cameras, so you definitely don't want to do that with a camera either. It says keep the nozzle moving and do not concentrate the water jet on any one area. And I think this one's a pretty obvious one as well. When you're washing your car, especially if you have PPF on it, you don't want to aim the water straight on the PPF. And you definitely don't want to aim it on any of the edges either. You want to aim around it, and you want to keep a distance as you're washing the car. The next one is, do not aim water hoses directly at windows, doors, hood seals, electric modules, or exposed cabling. So definitely keep that in mind as you're washing your car. Next one is around using touchless wash, which this is something Tesla recommends. So it says use a touchless car wash and avoid exposure to soaps and chemicals above pH 13. So this one's kind of another obvious one for washing cars in general, but you definitely want to keep this in mind, again, if you have PPF or something like that. Next one is, do not use chemical-based wheel cleaners or pre-wash products. These can damage the finish on the wheels. So this one I didn't actually know, but I've never encountered anything going wrong with my wheel finish. I actually thought the wheel covers themselves were like some sort of metal. That's definitely what it feels like, but I don't know. They're just not really specific with this. And I don't really use any chemical-based solvents or anything like that on my wheels. I don't even polish them. I just use a soap, and that's good enough for me. But this is something definitely you want to keep in mind if you're used to waxing down wheels on your cars. So the last one is a warning, and it says never spray liquid at a high velocity towards the charging port while Model 3 is charging. Doing so can result in serious injury or damage to the car and charging equipment. So this one is another pretty obvious one, but you don't want to spray any direct liquid into essentially like a wall outlet, because that's really what it is, because there's just a large battery underneath the car, and that is where effectively you put your plug to charge the car. So you don't want to spray anything in that area, and if you have to, make sure the charge port is closed and car wash mode is enabled, so that way it locks that port and you can safely spray around that area to make sure it's clean. So that is today's video. If you enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to leave a like, and also consider subscribing. I make 2 videos per week, and I also make car reviews now. So if you haven't seen my latest review, check that out. I'll leave a card at the end of this video, and it'll probably appear somewhere here, and you can check it out. I changed my workflow just a little bit just to accommodate for more research. Just because I know that my delivery, when it comes to the content and the accuracy of the information, just isn't quite the way I want. So I want to be able to deliver the most accurate information to you guys, so that way you have the best information when you're both shopping around for a new Tesla and also maintaining your Tesla as well. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. So far, I really do appreciate all of the engagement across my content. It's pretty insane to think that you only have 1.7 thousand subscribers, but your content is getting almost like 10x that in terms of views and engagement. It's truly insane, and I really do thank you guys for engaging with the content. So this has been John with Blackbird Productions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.